Discipline is not a word many truly understand. Most think it means forcing yourself to do something difficult, but that is only the surface. True discipline is the quiet, unseen battle between who you are and who you must become. It is the rule that decides whether you live with power or remain chained by weakness. The body may sleep, but the disciplined mind wakes before dawn, not because it is told to, but because it knows the world waits for no one. While others lie in comfort, a warrior rises not to prove anything to anyone but to remind himself of his purpose. Desire is a fire that consumes without control. It makes a man chase after pleasure, after ease, after comfort until his edge dulls and his spirit weakens. Discipline is the water that tempers that fire. It brings balance, direction, and strength. The moment you obey desire, you lose command over yourself. The moment you obey discipline, you gain mastery over the world. Every morning you face this choice to serve your weakness or to command it. And it is this decision, this small, invisible moment, that separates the few who rise from the many who drift. The undisciplined man is a slave to his impulses. He eats when he is not hungry, speaks when he should be silent, and moves when he should wait. But the disciplined one governs his own spirit. He learns restraint not because he must, but because he chooses to. He understands that power without control is chaos. He trains not only his body but his emotions, for the greatest battles are not fought with swords but within the mind. When the inner storm calms, even the fiercest battle outside cannot shake him. Discipline sharpens more than skill, it sharpens vision. It cuts away distractions, leaving only what matters. When you live with structure, time bends to your will. You do not chase days, you shape them. You do not react to life, you create it. The weak wait for motivation to strike, the disciplined act without it. Their movements are not driven by mood but by mastery. When the sun rises, they have already begun. When others dream, they are awake, building, refining, perfecting the unseen. Discipline is not meant to make life harder. It is meant to make you harder to break. It is the silent strength that allows a man to walk through chaos without being consumed by it. To be among the 1%, you must learn to rise when no one watches, to train when no one cheers, to move forward even when every part of you begs to stop. For the one who lives by discipline will never be ruled by circumstance. The path is harsh, but it forges the unshakable. Only through discipline can one rise above desire, and in that rising become unstoppable. Calmness is not the absence of chaos, it is the strength to remain unmoved within it. The weak search for peace outside themselves, hoping that the world will quiet down so they can think clearly. But the warrior knows that the world will never be still. Storms will come, people will provoke, fate will test. True calm is not found in silence, it is forged in the noise. It is the stillness of the heart when everything around it trembles. In battle, fear whispers before the first strike. It tells you that you might lose, that your opponent is stronger, that death waits for you. Many warriors fall before they even begin, not from the blade but from their own thoughts. The untrained mind turns against its owner. The trained one, however, remains like water, fluid, steady, unbroken. When the storm rages, it does not resist, it flows. Calmness allows a man to see clearly when others see nothing but confusion. The moment you panic, your vision narrows. The moment you breathe, it widens. In calm, you can read your enemy, sense his rhythm, and strike not with haste but with precision. But calmness is not a gift, it is earned. It must be trained as rigorously as the hand that wields the sword. It begins with the discipline to master your breath, your reactions, your emotions. You cannot control what happens around you, but you can control what happens within. When anger rises, observe it. When fear appears, face it. Do not push it away, understand it, and through understanding, dissolve its power. The warrior who panics becomes blind. The one who remains calm sees opportunity in every motion. In life, just as in battle, chaos will come without warning. The world will turn against you, plans will crumble, and those you trust may falter. But if you remain steady within yourself, the storm loses its edge. You begin to realize that calmness is not weakness, it is control. It is knowing that the waves cannot drown what stands anchored in truth. The calm man does not rush to speak, he listens. He does not rush to act, he observes. And when he moves, his action is final, deliberate, unstoppable. Many mistake calm for coldness, but that is ignorance. Calmness is not the absence of emotion, it is mastery over it. Fire still burns within, but it does not consume, it illuminates. To be calm is to be aware, awake, and alive. The mind no longer scatters energy on distractions, it channels it toward victory. To walk through chaos with calm is to command the world without speaking a word. Those who reach this state cannot be shaken, for their power comes from within. The calm warrior does not conquer through force, he conquers through presence. Most people chase victory by sharpening their sword, yet few ever sharpen their mind. They think strength comes from the arm, from speed, from aggression. But the body is nothing without the mind to guide it. A sharp blade in the hands of a restless mind is as dangerous to its master as it is to the enemy. The true warrior trains his inner state before he trains his hand. For the mind is the real weapon, and the sword merely follows its command. In battle, the difference between life and death is often not skill but perception. The untrained mind reacts to every movement, every sound, every emotion. It becomes the slave of circumstance. But the mind of mastery is still observing, calculating. It does not rush to respond, for it already sees beyond the next strike. This is why many lose, though they fight fiercely. They act from impulse, not insight. The strongest are not those who move the fastest, but those who think the slowest, whose inner world does not tremble even when chaos unfolds before them. Training the mind is like tempering steel. It must be heated, hammered, and cooled repeatedly. Discipline, meditation, solitude, these are the fires that purify it. Each moment of stillness, each breath taken in awareness shapes a mind that does not flinch. When a man learns to quiet the noise within, he begins to see the truth in everything around him. He begins to anticipate without guessing, to respond without emotion, to act without hesitation. That is when he becomes dangerous, not because of what he wields, but because of what he understands. You cannot reach mastery while seeking comfort. Comfort dulls the edge of the mind. It makes one soft, reactive, easily disturbed. To become unshakable, you must embrace discomfort as your ally. Train when others rest, reflect when others boast, remain silent when others seek praise. The one who controls his mind controls his world, for every external struggle is first fought within. Fear, doubt, impatience, these are the true enemies. When they are defeated, no opponent remains strong enough to break you. The world will always test your control. People will insult you, outcomes will fail, life will strike when you least expect it. But if your mind stands unbroken, nothing can move you. You may fall, but you will rise without complaint. You may lose, but you will learn without despair. A calm and disciplined mind is not a shield that avoids the storm, it is the foundation that endures it. The greatest strength is not found in muscle or weapon, but in the mind that never bends, never breaks, and never loses its center no matter how fierce the battle becomes. Many seek greatness by defeating others, but true mastery is born when a man defeats himself. The final battle is never fought against an opponent standing before you, it is always the one raging within. Every fear, every hesitation, every desire for comfort, praise, or recognition, these are the enemies that stalk a warrior long after his sword is sheathed. The man who cannot master himself will forever be ruled by the chaos of his own emotions, no matter how many victories he claims on the battlefield. To live, by the way, is to live without attachment. When your mind clings to outcomes, you lose clarity. When your heart demands validation, you lose freedom. The path to mastery demands that you release all that binds you, the opinions of others, the fear of failure, the hunger for glory. Those are chains disguised as desires. And while others may be distracted by applause or fear the silence that follows, you must walk through that silence willingly, for it is in silence that strength matures. Self-mastery is not about suppressing emotion but understanding it. Anger can become focus, fear can become awareness, pain can become patience. The key is not to fight your nature but to discipline it, to turn every weakness into fuel for growth. A warrior who feels nothing is blind, a warrior who feels everything is broken, but the one who feels deeply yet remains centered becomes unstoppable. Balance is not the absence of emotion, it is the command over it. The mind that has conquered itself no longer seeks control over the world, it simply moves in harmony with it. When you act from this place, you no longer struggle to force victory. Victory becomes a natural result of your clarity. You begin to see patterns others miss, opportunities others overlook, and truths others fear to face. You realize that your greatest strength is not in fighting harder, but in understanding more deeply. This is why discipline is sacred. It is the ritual of defeating yourself each day. When you rise before dawn to train, when you choose silence over argument, when you hold your calm while others lose theirs, you are practicing victory over the self. Each small conquest sharpens your spirit until it becomes indestructible. The world will test you again and again, but once you have mastered your inner world, no battle can truly touch you. To become invincible is not to fight endlessly, it is to reach the point where nothing can disturb your inner peace. When you no longer need to prove yourself, when the storms within you have settled, you move through life with quiet certainty. The sword may rest, but the spirit remains awake. And that is where true mastery lies, not in the clash of steel but in the silence of a mind that has already won.